Hello everybody and welcome back to the Library of Ruina. Alrighty, so I want to say this straight away. The train conductor mod that I said that we were never going to go back to, it turns out that I clicked on a optional super boss of that mod that was supposed to be basically unbeatable, when in reality the real receptions, hang on, so just to show you, let me see, hang on, if I can catch my bearings here, where did they go? I just saw them, hang on, aha, here it is. So, yeah, the real receptions are just, like, way off to the side, and I didn't see it. And so I clicked on the super boss on accident, thinking that you had to go through the train in order to get to everything else. So that is completely my bad. So, yeah, I mean, on the one hand, it is my fault. I should have been a little bit more thorough. On the other hand, why are the receptions so far off to the side? But, you know, at the end of the day, I should have been more thorough. That's my bad. And so we're going to be giving this mod an actual attempt now. And maybe for fun, at the end, we'll fight the train boss one more time just to see if we get any further. Although I doubt it. I doubt it. But still. So, let's see what we're up against. The Meat Lantern. 235 health, 200 stagger resist, normal to everything. Bait. Targeted by clerks. If this character is defeated, the suppression is complete. Ambush. Upon being attacked with a melee combat page, respond with a powerful combat page. Busy day at Lobotomy Corporation. At the end of the scene, if there is less than 4 clerks present, a number of clerks arrives up to 4. I see. An army in pink. Hey, we just fought this. Normal to everything, 435 health and 300 stagger resist. Army in pink, untargetable. If 4 or more non-abnormality characters perish this act, ... Protector. At the start of the act, the third scene and every second scene after, use a combat page that adds a copy of a single-use ranged combat page from original decks of each librarian to their hand. Otherwise, use a different page, healing all librarians. So, as far as I know, these are going to scale up in difficulty, but I think we're going to be very strong with these fights compared to the train. And the reception begins. Clerk. Refraction. At the start of the scene, draw pages and restore light equal to the amount of speed dice -1. Clerk. Targets hostile abnormalities and speed dice slot +1. They also only have 1 to 3 speed. Oh, I see. Right, so they attack Meat Lantern, which causes Meat Lantern to do a Giga move. Right. So theoretically... Oh wait, no, I see. I was gonna say, theoretically, could you just, like, rush it down and kill it in one scene? Not quite, because it respawns after every attack. So I'm gonna let the clerks do their thing. Oh my god. Good thing I didn't try and attack it myself. Issue. Maybe the play is to use, like, guards. that was timing. Maybe the play is to use guards against the dudes. However, Meat Lantern is now gone, and now it's the army in black. All dice gain power equal to the amount of allies present. Damage type, white. Deal 50% more stagger damage with attacks and no HP damage. Black Love. After staggering the target, inflict Black Love on them. Does not deal stagger damage with attacks if target has Black Love. Black Love, uncontrollable, can target and prioritize allies. Upon becoming staggered, this status is removed. And we salute you. When an ally dies, use a powerful combat page. Next scene. Okay. Oh boy. Right. Okay, actually relatively weak dice except for these two. Okay. This is manageable. We can do this, no problem. So I'm gonna go for Instinct Release because it gives us some counter dice to work with. Then we are going to go for Prosenamuni because that should be able to, I don't know how to say that properly, by the way, but it should be able to clash no problem. I'm just immediately going to go for Incinerated Impact. Then I'm gonna hold. Let's see, Mr. Dave. I think it's time to take out the trash. Then we're gonna go for Recapture the Area. Clash of Blades we could use, and we would get some counter dice value as well. I think I'm just gonna keep it simple and go for a double Shockwave because we're being attacked by so many different dice. Okay, then let's go for a Death Rattle. And another Shockwave. Here we go. Pretty standard attacks from us. Ow. So far, we're not winning any clashes. Ow. Okay, a little bit of healing going down from Kilana. Ow. We're almost staggered on Kyle. Oh, we are staggered on Kyle. Okay, well, there's the Black Heart, so Kyle is going to be going after us rather than enemies. Okay, Kilana ends up winning some clashes, inflicting a fair bit of burn. Incinerated Impact is going to spread tons of burn, and we take out the trash. Obviously, we don't have Exodia on this floor anymore, but that's fine. Let's go ahead and sweep them all for a free trash disposal. Then I'm going to go for Opening Ceremony to try and give ourselves a little bit more of a fighting chance. Fervent Emotions, it's a little bit too early, so I'm not going to go for that just yet. And then we can go... I'm just going to do Malicious Exposure just so we can get the Clash power. Then I think I'm going to do Double Remembrance. That way we can potentially clash more stuff next turn. We're not at emotion level we're not at emotion level 3. By the way, I'm struggling. I keep looking towards the right, but we're on the left. Ooh, the only thing we can really do is recapture the area. Unfortunately, this is not going to be a good turn for us. We kind of just don't have a whole lot of resources just yet. Debatably, maybe we should have gone for the clerks first instead. I don't know if killing off the clerks is a really good idea, though. Then again, if we can delay Army in Black coming out, maybe that's the play? Either way, Opening Ceremony does help us out a little bit. Recapture the area so we get a little bit of light. All of us are getting close to being staggered. I wonder how this fight would react if we went for Philip. Let's find out. We can't target allies if we're... Ugh. Yeah, we can't target allies if we're the only ally. Okay, let's go ahead and get a bunch of counter dice going, because at the moment we are about to be in a world of hurt. I'm gonna go for Rekindling Strike. Let's see. You're not burning. You are burning, but you don't quite have enough. Okay, you know what? Let's go for Fervent Emotions, and then I'm gonna go for... Yeah, I'm gonna go for Attentive. That way we don't take any stagger damage. Let's go Lean Bloody Wings, because that should work out just well. Let's go for Sweep the Back Streets, and then unfortunately that is all we're gonna be able to do. Counter dice doesn't quite work out for us, but our block dice does. Plenty of burn being done. Counter dice, unfortunately, not quite working out for us, so we do end up getting staggered. Dave almost at a stagger as well. Okay. Lean Bloody Wings working out very nicely for us. We also do get a little bit of our stagger back. Gelana basically taking no stagger, but Dave is now staggered as well. Oh boy, this is a real Netzach floor kind of fight. Ow. Okay, self burn, not amazing, but that's okay. Let's go for Cello. We now have 2 Philip passes, and also the music changed. Gregory Adalis is attacking himself? Am I saying that correctly? He's literally attacking himself and Malkuth? Okay. Yeah, this is gonna get real just tricky and weird the longer this fight goes on. Let's go for Remove Whip. And then I'm gonna go for Violent Flame just to spread some more burn. Unfortunately, everyone else is uncontrollable or staggered, so... Okay, Kyle does go after the enemies a little bit. Okay, a little bit of burn being spread around. We win most of those clashes. So, are we supposed to be going specifically after our allies to get them unstaggered? I don't know what just happened to Gregory Adalis. Ow. That Clash of Blades is being stacked up, unfortunately, against us. Oh, that's what happened. He's attacking himself. And it soft-locked us. Well, that's not ideal. Okay, so... let's think this through. There's stuff we could have done at the start of this fight to potentially get a better start. If we had an all-range deck, we could potentially even just kill Meat Lantern before the fight gets to Army in Black. I think we're supposed to target our allies to stagger them so that they lose Black Heart. And if we attack ourselves, we get soft-locked. I think we've got it. Much better start this time. So I went ahead and quote farmed the clerks for as long as I could. And we're going into this turn 2 of Army in Black with basically everybody at emotion level 3. So you can absolutely get a much better start provided you don't instantly kill all 4 clerks. So here we go. Ow, ow, ow. Okay, we are losing some clashes, but that's okay. We're expecting to lose some. Okay, that one doesn't get recycled. That's fine. We are very slowly powering ourselves up, plus we're inflicting quite a bit of burn. We win that clash, so that is good for us. Remove Whip doesn't quite end up working. Fervent Emotions also not quite enough. Lean Bloody Wings is enough to win that clash, and we're going to have some more endurance next scene. Fervent Emotions getting through quite well, a little bit more burn. Ooh, Kalana is getting very, very close to getting staggered. We have some more strength to work with. Block dice doesn't quite get through. Fervent Emotions is going to boost up the amount of burn we're going to do. Tiny bit of Paralyzed for next turn just to help us out. Fiery Walt. That way we spread some burn all the way around. Okay. Now... Oh. Emotional Conflict could be really good. Could be real good. Agonizing Cowardice also could be really good. You know what? We're gonna do it on Malkuth because I think it gets buffed up. We're gonna take Inconsolable Grief as well. Okay, thank you. By the way, I do think it's the play to split up our attacks for this fight, because when they die, they're gonna set off, presumably, yeah, We Salute You. I was gonna say, maybe it's named something else, but no. They will set off We Salute You. When an ally dies, use a powerful combat page next scene. So, ideally, we kill all 4 at basically the same time. Now, I'm gonna go for Inconsolable Grief. And then I'm also going to do, Malicious Erasure. Basically has the best chance. 22, 16, 12. Blazing Strike it is. Then I'm going to go for Incinerated Impact. Let's go for a Shockwave. And then we go for Recapture the Area to spread some of our love. I'm going to go for Fervent Emotions. That way we have some counter dice to work with. And then... let's just go for Shockwave. Then let's do Sweep Them All. Let's go for Shockwave again. Then we go Will of the Prescript and just soak the damage. That'll be fine. Then we could go for Sweep the Backstreets. And that's it. That's all we got. Inconsolable Grief. Pew! Pew! Ooh, and we do win the clash. Barely, but it still counts. Okay, Shockwave working out nicely, spreading as much burn as possible. Fervent Emotion, same deal, just spreading that burn. Because once we get staggered like that, this fight becomes a whole lot harder because we're really not going to be able to control ourselves nearly as much. We also do need to prevent ourselves from attacking ourselves, since that did softlock the fight. Oh, terrible rolls with Sweep the Backstreets. Kalana is very, very close to becoming staggered. Okay, ooh, we got a damage proc from Gasmask Dave. Very good. Burn damage, absolutely kicking in good. And then Is Heard No More, I think, would basically kill us. So, I'm going to go for Emotional Conflict. And I'm going to do that on Gregory Dallas. Then... let's go Icarus's Flight. We don't have too much burn on ourselves right now, but we sure do have enough. 32, 34, 24. Alrighty, Icarus's Flight right here. Then, we are currently Blade unlocked. I'm gonna go for Chi Wen. Yeah, let's just attempt to prevent as much damage as possible. I'm going to... previous scene. We sweep them all, so I don't think it'd count this turn. So let's go ahead and instead just go for a regular trash disposal. I do think we're gonna get staggered. Let's go for Lean Bloody Wings. Let's get Persistence going. And then I'm also just gonna use Shockwave for a little bit of one-sided damage. Then let's try and win that clash while also getting a bit of light. Yeah, why not? Let's use Rise from the Ashes. Then we can go for another Clash of Blades, followed by a Fervent Emotions, just in case we do end up getting staggered, and that's all we got. Icarus's Flight. Ton of AoE damage. We also have an absurd amount of burn damage I just saw on one of the armies in black. He had 120. Oh, because it absorbs literally everyone, not just from allies. Oh. You know, there is a part of me that's worried that that might not have been the play. He's not dead, though. Okay, we do end up getting staggered, unfortunately for us. Clash of Blades, dealing pretty good damage. Trash disposal! We only get one. Chiwen. Okay, we do get buffed a little bit from that. That army in black is at 3 health. We are also going after each other. So can I self-target? Yes, I can. So that is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get stagger your own people. I see. Okay, let's go double shockwave. And then I am going to go for Violent Flame, just to try and spread as much fire as physically possible. Inconsolable Grief will not be a good choice, so let's instead go for Sweep Them All. Then we can sweep the back streets. We're not really fast enough to stop many people, so let's just go for a regular trash disposal here, stop some damage, and then we can recapture the area here. Then I think we're gonna go for recapture the area, Waned Evertide, and that's all we got. Here we go. Spread as much burn as physically possible. If we can all get to emotion level 5, that'd be pretty good. Issue: Gregory Adalis is not going to really be able to go up in emotion levels, at least not yet. We did also get staggered on, I think that was Malkuth? Okay, we end up winning that clash. Good job. Sweep them all. Gets a single hit. Okay, trash disposal did do a little bit better. Tiny bit of friendly fire going down on our own side just to try and snap us out of it. Okay, this, we killed one. We salute you. On hit, deal damage and stagger damage equal to dice value. Oh, you're all using that, huh? Aw, Kilana's gonna hit herself. We can't stop that either, so that sucks big time. So let's just do what we gotta do. Spread as much burn as physically possible. I'm gonna go... Oh, we don't have enough light. We also can't go for Icarus's Flight. Well, that is certainly not good now, is it? So let's go for Lean Bloody Wings and hope for the best. Here we go. We salute you. Ow! Okay, one block. We're all basically staggered. Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, we're all staggered, so let's hope that we don't get soft locked. Okay, they're also no longer dealing damage to us because of their mechanic with Blackheart. Oh! Ow. Actually, Fiery Waltz... Ah, we didn't have enough burn. Ow! Kilana! Calm down! So this one's dead. This one dies next turn. And this one has too much health. Dang. Dang. Yeah, we're just not able to do anything right now, so we kind of just have to hope that the amount of burn that we have given them will be enough. This one is dead, and then one dies next turn. It's the last one that I'm kind of worried about. Ugh! Ow! Kitteh! Calm it down! Oh, okay. Actually, that... Huh. Gregory Adalis might actually snap out of it because of that. Okay, so like I said, this one is dead. This one goes down to lower health. Ooh, Dave is back in control. Dave is back in control. And this is on hit, so at most it'll deal 12? Ooh. You know what? Let's get a trash disposal and a lean bloody wings, and I think that sets us far enough to win. Okay, it only rolled 6, that's fine. Okay. No damage being done, we do not mind that. Come on, Dave. Come on, Dave. You've got this. Because one is dead. If we can just bring this other one low enough. Okay, Kitteh borderline kills herself. Malkuth also working on it. Good stuff. That's a reception. Woo! So, there's definitely... We did this the hard way, because the easy way is just to bring ranged pages, block the clerks, and just shoot Meat Lantern. That's the easy way to do this. We did it the hard way, with the power of burn. That's interesting. So, depending on which version of the fight you beat... dictates which book you get. Interesting. Extracted Ego, pink. Can only be equipped on Librarians of Floor of History, and when equipped on that floor, change certain abnormality pages. The effect is reverted if Patron Librarian of History pages is equipped, or rebooting the game when not having the page equipped. Okay. And then, hang on. Wait. Pink. There it is. Alright, what was that other passive? Pink, untransferable, can target allies. When targeting allies with combat pages, deal no damage or stagger damage with attacks. And on a successful attack, if target is an ally, they recover HP and stagger resist equal to half of dice's value. When using combat pages, their page or dice effects do not activate while targeting allies. Oh. And black. Boost stagger damage by +1 for each status ailment on self. And specialized weapon proficiency. Untransferable, when using pages exclusive to this key page, take 1 to 2 less damage from attacks, and all dice gain +1 power. Interesting. So, well, let's put it on Kitteh for now. Let's do up. Oh, right. Also, we do need to swap Malkuth's page. Donk. All right, so let's see. What's the new stuff? It doesn't show us yet. Okay. We'll see it when we we'll see it when we swap. Or no, it's because we have the patron. Wait. Hang on. Wait a minute. Argalia. Yeah, why not? Never mind. We do just have to restart the game. Dang it. Oh. How interesting. Okay, so it did need a restart, first of all. But interesting. So depending on how you do the fights, just full stop. Not even like a hard mode versus easy mode. No. full stop, depending on which side of the fight you do, dictates which abnormality page, gift, suit, you get, which then dictates what abnormality pages you get. That is interesting. Let's see. Pink. Single ally, lose 2 to 6 stagger resist and gain 1 fragile, same scene upon using a combat page. Other ally with the least HP recovers 3 to 6 HP and gains 1 protection this scene. So quite literally I sacrifice myself for you. Black. At the start of the scene, transfer all status ailments from a random ally with the most stacks of status ailments to the selected librarian. That librarian recovers 3 to 6 stagger resist for every status ailment on them. Ooh. That could be ridiculously strong in the right hands. And finally, we salute you. Add a We Salute You page to the hand of all allies. Cost 0 on use. Spend all HP and stagger resist. All enemies take stagger damage equal to the amount of HP spent. All other allies recover HP and stagger resist equal to HP and stagger resist spent. At the start of the scene, gain 2 damage up, protection, and stagger protection for every ally that used We Salute You this act, up to 4. This page is also included in the deck at the start of subsequent acts. So, while reading that, maybe you got the exact same idea that I did, right? Hear me out. Me and you, we're gonna say it at the same time. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Kizuna build. Does that not sound absolutely insane? Not only do you get 4 protection and stagger protection, if you slap Kizuna on there, you get 3 strength and 3 endurance. Then, if you slap toughness on there, dude, you have 7 permanent protection and stagger protection and 3 permanent strength and endurance. Does that not sound insanely good? You do have to get to emotional level 5 first, and also you have to... Everybody has to stay alive that whole time, but still. By the way, here's what I put together for Kelana, who is using the Extracted Ego Pink. So, I'm gonna be honest, we don't have a whole lot of ranged cards, so pretty simple singleton style deck. You know I like those. As for passives, I have no idea. Honestly, I don't know. We're gonna figure that out. However, at some point, I will kill Meat Lantern. I'll put together just some kind of range deck for it. Should be easy enough. I say that with a grain of salt because of how easily you can snap into the other scene. By the way, this is Train. This is a normal fight. I think me getting confused, understandable, right? I feel like... Oh no. We have to kill Lantern first. Oh no. Alright, well I guess I'm doing that faster than I thought I was. Yippee! Extracted Ego Lantern. Holy, it has 0. It has no stagger. Hang on. Let's take a look here. Page land. There we go. Extracted Ego Lantern. Can only be used on the floor of history. Yep. Frightening Maw. Untransferable. When using a combat page, if the HP is below 50%, add a 2 to 6 slash dice. On hit, restore 2 HP to the end of the dice queue. And repositioning. Upon becoming staggered, recover from stagger at the end of the scene. Also recover 15 HP when recovering from stagger. I see. So what I'm hearing... Is it... Oh, hang on. I'm gonna think about it. Survivor? Is it Survivor? Hang on, we're gonna check. Let's see here. Serve. Survivor. It is Survivor! Every time the character recovers from stagger, gain 1 strength and endurance for the rest of the act. So what I'm hearing is there's ultimate synergy between Survivor and Lantern. Okay. And we'll see what the abnormality pages do later, because restarting the game takes like anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. So we'll look at them all later. That's my promise to you. We'll look at them all later. But for the moment, let's take on the King in Binds. Endured to all damage, ineffective to all stagger damage. Quite a bit of health. At the start of the act, summon Peccatulum Invidere. After the first set has been defeated, repeat the process. After 2 Peccatulum Invidere groups have been defeated, summon another set imitating the librarians, except the patron. If there is no Peccatulum left, change behavior. King of the game called Life. At the start of the act, inflict patron librarian with bandages of the King of Binds. While there are Peccatulum Invidere present, this character and the patron librarian cannot act and be targeted by attacks. Destroy this passive and gain a new set of passives at the start of the next phase. And the play must continue. If there are no targetable librarians at the start of the scene, the reception is lost. Chains Binding. On hit, inflict 3 sinking. Let's see. When rolling dice, lose 1 stack of sinking and lower the minimum roll value of all dice by 1 for every 10 sinking. Okay. Thou wilt sink. On hit, inflict 5 sinking. Strangling Despair. On hit, inflict 2 sinking up to 3 times. Enveloping Resignation. On hit, inflict 3 sinking up to twice. Chains of Binding. Clash lose. Inflict 1 bandages of King and Binds to each other. Okay. Protects from the King and Binds special attack. Right. And present thyself before the king. After attack, if target doesn't have bandages of the King and Binds status, they die. Otherwise, they take no damage and the status is purged. Lower resistances of this character for the rest of the reception. Oh. Well, that sounds horrifying. Alright, completely annihilate Finn. You know, I didn't quite realize that he had as much health as that. Perhaps it was a bad idea to just hit auto-select. Look, I saw Finn, and I just assumed that he was going to be weak AF. That's my bad. Alright, let's play this normally now, shall we? We could overclock. I don't think that'll help us, so at the moment, let's hang on to our light. Let's activate Serum R. Okay, then we go for Expiration R. I'm also going to go... Let's go for Lean Bloody Wings. Then, let's get Unlock ready to roll. Let's go for Probing Attack, because that should work out just fine. And then let's go for Shockwave, because we can. So if it summons copies of us... that could be a little bit problematic. We do have some fairly powerful decks. It'll kind of be funny to get a taste of our own medicine, though, I'll be honest. Okay, now that he's staggered, we should be able to take him out no problem. Man, unfortunately, we're not drawing any way to get light back on Mal, which is a bit of a problem. So I'm just going to play the resource game, at least for now. Let's go for Fear Control, just so we purposely get ourselves low stagger, so that Survivor will trigger a little bit more. We'll go for Serum R for big damage, and then Trail R to follow it up. 33 damage, certainly not bad. Probing Attack. power cutoff. I don't seem to recall that for Icebox. Yeah, I don't recall power cutoff from Icebox. That's new, question mark. Let's go ahead. Let's go for request. Why not? We can get ourselves an easy achievement, and we'll do it on Mao. Okay, let's see. So, the Coward, the Failed, and the Broken. Well, those are fitting names. Those are very fitting names. Okay, so they are using the regular pages, so therefore we should be able to just absolutely demolish most of them. I'm gonna go for Fluctuating Mind. That should win the clash. That also gets us very close to being staggered. I'm gonna go for Canine's Growl just to protect us from a little bit of damage. Then I'm gonna go for double probing attack, so we have as many pages in hand as physically possible. We're still not drawing all of our big boy pages for light, so let's go ahead and draw some pages instead. We've held off long enough on Mal, so may as well make it happen. Energy Matrix gives us 2 draws. Not Aeon becomes invisible for his attack because he's just that fast that you can't even see him. Trail R doing a pretty good amount of damage. Canine's Growl makes us Blade unlocked. Let's see. Could do Metallic Ringing. I'm gonna go for Lament on Ingvar. Okay. Let's see. Fear Control will stagger us, which does purge our head, but that's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and go for Donkey's Bray. Now, let's go ahead and swap to Serum W. Let's go for Expiration W. That is gonna get +8 power, so we are about to take some damage. Okay, we have nothing else to do, so let's go for a probing attack. That should be more than enough. I'm gonna go for a Snake Slit, and then I'm gonna go for another one. Then, Mao, it's time. You are going to go for as much damage as physically possible. This will give us charge. It'll also restore some light. Same deal here. Charge, light, and draw. All things that we need. Unfortunately, our first clash doesn't end up going very well. We do end up getting a stagger. We might take out the Broken before Mao is able to land the killing blow. Okay, another stagger going down on the Failed. I'm unsure if we killed the Broken. We are going to find out. Okay, Donkey's Bray working out very, very nicely for us. Counter Dice also working out very nicely for Ingvar. Basically, 0 damage being done. Alright. Now, let's do this carefully. I'm going to go for Energy Matrix and Information Gathering. That'll give us a contract and should be a relatively good choice. Then, let's go for Canine. Let's go for Rooster. And we'll also go for Unlock 3 just to get some resources back. Then, we'll go for Serum W because I'm feeling particularly mean. Then, we should also be able to take out the Broken, no problem. Okay, so we are back to full stagger on Mao. The ride concludes with a very powerful stagger, probing attack, taking out the Broken. And now, it's just you. At least, it was. Okay, well, we already see that there's, there's already copies of us. I'm gonna go for Eternal Rest, because I think, eventually, there should only be Yesod and the King of Chains. Let's go for Solemn Lament, just so we have it. Okay. So you didn't use your special pages. You're taking a page out of my book. At the moment, we do have Doodle Doo and Hee Haw, so let's go ahead and get Canine going. Let's get Collision, because we should win that clash, no problem. Not Aeon barely has any counter dice, so I'm not too afraid of that. I think we're gonna go for World of Spirits on Not Aeon, which leaves us with 3 light to work with. So let's go with Boom, then Probing, then we'll go for World of Spirits as our last action. Agile. Ugh. Yikes, there isn't a whole lot of options that we got here. We do have 14 charge, though, so here's what we're going to do. Shoot Not Aeon, then spend 8 charge, we split onto Mal, then we overclock, now we split onto Icebox, then we go for Energy Matrix, because it's gonna spend charge, reduce the cost of pages, and ignore the overclock passive. So I'm pretty afraid to go for Ingvar, honestly, so let's go after Mal. Now the time comes. World of Spirits. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. Right in the middle, I think. Ow. Okay. All 3 hits, doing very well from our spit. Enemy Mao does manage to get through our counter dice, but we do a little bit of damage. Enemy Icebox also dealing a little bit of damage to us. Ow. Enemy Ingvar. Yep. Yep, he's good at clashes. Okay, our Ingvar does manage to win the clash. Ooh. Oh my, I just noticed enemy Ingvar has full health. He used World of Spirits. No, that was ours. That was ours. Also, our Not Aeon is dead. Boy, this gets confusing. Huh, who would have guessed? It gets real confusing when you're fighting yourself. Okay, well, here's what I'm gonna do. Never mind, we don't have enough charge. Alright. We don't have any charge, really. Are you using any counter dice? No, you're not. Okay. In that case, we are just going to maximize charge while also trying to take out Not Aeon as quickly as possible. Let's go ahead and swap over to Serum K just so we have it ticking. That way we have a much higher chance to get Tri-Serum Cocktail in the next few turns. Let's go for Probing Attack. Then we're going to go for Double Snake Slit. Yeah, enemy Ingvar having legit full health is real scary. Let's try and do a little bit of damage to enemy Mal. Okay, and that's all we got. Let's do it. Solemn Lament. Contract complete. Agonizing Wail, getting a good amount of damage. We have plenty of counter dice to use. Enemy Ingvar uses Agonizing. We're using Snake Slit against each other. Probing Attack onto our Mal. Enemy Icebox is hitting Mal as well, which certainly doesn't feel good. Oh! Ouch! Enemy Ingvar goes for World of Spirits and hits the absolute dead center. Okay, we are barely not staggered on Mal. Oh yeah, this is gonna be nasty. Dude! You freaking cheater, man. You're supposed to start with 75% less health. 500 health, Ingvar. And he always hits heads. Oh, that's so cheating. Oh, that feels so bad. Well, not much to be done about it, unfortunately. What's our charge at? 0, really? Did we just never use information gathering? Because I feel like we should have had some charge. You don't spend charge, do you? No. So why don't you have any? So we must not have used either information gathering. That sucks. That sucks bad. If we could go for Disintegrating Shot, that would help a lot. The issue is that we can't. Oof. Enemy Ingvar really wants Mao dead. We're gonna do what we can. Unfortunately, this might be the end of our turn. Enemy Ingvar rolling 14s across the board. Yeah, that is a taste of our own medicine. Ow. Ouch. Was that our Ingvar that got a kill, or was that enemy Ingvar? No, it was enemy Ingvar, because our Ingvar is dead. I think that was enemy Mao that just did a hit. Okay, well, it's only Icebox. And, I gotta be honest, it doesn't look good. So, let's just use literally every single one of our counter dice and hope for the best when we go for Tri-Serum Cocktail next turn. Okay. So far, the blocks are going well, but we still have a lot of attacks to go through. And we are out of counter dice. Now, the good thing is, Icebox can't be staggered. Oh, you know what? That also means that enemy Icebox can't be staggered. That could be problematic for us, couldn't it? Huh. By the way, what the heck is healing them so much? You have a different passive. Something is healing them like crazy. Like, yeah, the HP ampule for Ingvar, but he was already full health. You're not in... Ah, well, you know what? Butterfly Ocarina probably just really kicking in, huh? Ah, yeah, and then AE Android probably also, yeah. Mechanics against me. You dare use my own weapons against me? Unfortunately, I think we're dead. Gotta be honest. Oh, wait a minute. Sea Decapitation. It's our, thank you. It's our only hope. Sea Decapitation, 3-man stagger, we win. It didn't work, we're dead. Yeah, this might take a few attempts, but we're gonna see how it goes. Also, I did change Icebox's appearance as well as Paige. I'll show that later. So here we go. Concierto. Brah. Enemy Concierto. Okay, honestly, pretty even on both sides. Oof, unfortunately, we do not get that clash win. That's alright. Icebox dealing a bit of damage, and enemy not Ayan going invisible. I see they share everything in common. Probing attack, unfortunately, not quite working out. Energy Matrix is gonna get pretty good damage, though. The Ingvars attacking one another. Probing attack does get through the aggressive dice. Ouch. Okay, get our heads a-going. Alright, we did get ourselves a stagger, and we let the lightning strike for 20 damage. World's longest animation. Yeah, this is brutal. Now, I realize it is brutal purely because of my own choices. However, brutal is brutal. Here's what we're gonna do. Donkey's Bray. Then we go for Wolking. Wolkling. However you say that. Then I'm gonna go for Fear Control. I'm gonna ignore that. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see that. Let's go ahead and counter Doodaloo. Then we go for Probing Attack, which is gonna have extra power. Then we will go for a Tail Whisk, just to ensure that you get taken down. We'll go for World of Spirits here in a second. I'm gonna go for Angel's Light, just so we get a tiny bit of healing, as well as all the other bonuses. Let's go for Condensing Mist. We do have the sensor lit, so that should be good. I'm gonna go for Icebreaker against Forked Bolt to try and see what we can do. We can actually go for Disintegrating Shot, and honestly, I think I might do it on Ingvar. Yep, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Then, Information Gathering is never going to work, so instead, I'm just gonna get as many resources as possible. Then, we get our World of Spirits, go for the one-sided, and we hit it dead in the middle. Okay, here we go. Disintegrating Shot. 23 damage, although we do take 23 in return. We don't get staggered, which means Wolkling is going to get max power. Colossal damage on the enemy Ingvar, as well as staggering him. That is a huge player off the board. Our Icebox, unfortunately, did go down. Enemy not Aeon goes down. Okay, we do get staggered. I think before we use Wolkling. I don't even think we used it. Okay, let's go for Clean, and we're gonna give it to Yesod. Then, let's take Regret. Actually. No, let's do Harmony. I'm unsure what happened there, but the game lagged. Let's immediately go for Harmony against Icebox, because this will give us a ton of strength and also guarantee a kill, which means that we get a bunch more strength. I am just gonna go for a regular unlock, and then we can go for both Canine and Donkey. Let's see. We are in a good position here, so I'm going to go for Assist Attack. That does spend a lot of our charge, but should be okay. Let's go for Energy Matrix, because we have enough charge for it to be fine. Ugh. And then let's just double hit Ingvar, and enemy Mao is unfortunately going to get quite a bit of damage. Unless we go for Snake Slit. I want to change my order on that. Let's go Shockwave, Snake Slit, and then we will just use 2 probing so that we draw as much as possible, and let her rip. Okay, huge damage coming down from Mao. Enemy Mao does not win her clash, which is very good for us. Energy Matrix so that we draw, and we're also going to be spending a tiny bit of charge, which is going to activate our passive so that we get a little bit of strength and endurance. All the probing attacks going down. Not Aeon with Harmony. Okay, we are all very, very hyper buffed. Next scene. And only Mao stands before us. So I'm pretty sure that the king is about to be unleashed, and that means that we're gonna die. So I'm just gonna use everything that I can. But just in case we don't die, I don't want to go too terribly ham. Just in case we do still get to play the video game. So let's go unlock Canine's Growl, Rooster's Crow, and Donkey's Bray. Here we go. Pew! Ow. Okay, enemy Mao is staggered, and that is that. And now the king stands before us. Okay, good thing we didn't go completely all in, because we would have regretted it immediately. Ooh, Wild Hunt music, I like it. We lost all of our charge, so unfortunate, not the end of the world. Here's what we're gonna do. Overclock! That puts us at 10. I am going to go for Energy Matrix. That's going to spend 5, but that's a-okay. I'm just going to get as much charge as physically possible, because the goal is we're just gonna spam Forked Bolt for as much damage as possible. How many heads do we have playing? All but one. So let's go for Wolk Gang. Then we go for regular unlock. We go for fear control, and that's all we can manage. I am absolutely going to do a World of Spirits, so let's go for Shockwave to get some light. And then World of Spirits to absolutely decimate this clash. Dead in the center! Ow. Okay, a lot of counter dice to go through, but that's fine. Solemn Lament with every single buff in the universe coming down from your side. The World of Spirits. Okay, we do take a tiny bit of damage, but Energy Matrix working out quite nicely. Bit more charge for us. Wolking! Getting absolute max value. You love to see that. Unlock also getting us a little bit of light and draw. Okay. He's not going for his big move yet. Let's go for technique. Then let's go. Is Wi-Fi a good idea here? I think Wi-Fi is a good idea here. Alright. Now that we have Wi-Fi, return all pages from hand to deck. Draw the equal amount of pages and lower the cost of all pages drawn by 1 for the next scene. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Also, I'll be 100% honest with you. I thought it had a different effect. I forgot that that's the one that discards to draw, but you know what? At the end of the day, I'm not going to complain. That debatably was actually the best choice. Even if I did forget the specifics, but details, you know? Okay. Unfortunately, a lot of these clashes that we're having to take are not going to be in our favor. Mainly because there's just more dice and we know what to do with. So, let's overclock. That allows us to split twice. So let's go Forked Bolt. Boosh. Then we split. Then we split again. And we don't have enough to do it again, but that's fine. Then we go Information Gather and double Stargaze. That gets us quite a bit of light back. I think enough to offset the -9 that we're about to get. So let her roll. Ow. Okay, there's 2. There's 3. Pretty good. Information Gather actually winning quite decisively despite it all. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi. However you say that, I don't know. Snake Slit getting us a fair bit of damage. Also, we're dealing quite a bit of stagger damage despite the fact that he's ineffective. So much so, I think we're more likely to get a stagger right now than anything else. He's still not using his absolute Giga move. However, some of us are losing our turns. I'm gonna go for Solemn Lament. Then the Harmony. Energy Matrix. You know what? Overclock, go for Energy Matrix. It reduces the cost of everything. We go for Information Gather for more energy. Or charge, same deal. Then we go for Tail Whisk, and unfortunately we're just going to have to soak the rest of this damage. Okay, a few attacks do end up going through from not in. Very, very good for us. A little bit of bleed on the King. More draw from Mal, Harmony, giving us quite a bit of strength to work with. We also do deal a little bit of stagger damage to ourselves, but that's fine. Counter dice working absolutely amazingly from Ingvar. We are about to stagger the King. Unfortunately, it appears that he's going to kill us first. And nothing can be done about it. Well. Excuse me. Wait a minute, why did Yesod take damage? Yesod absolutely had the status effect. You're not cheating, are you? Okay, let's see. We have a bunch of poise, so let's go for the clash. You are not marked, and I don't think it's gonna happen. Let's go Wind of the Leaves. Oh, these clashes do not feel amazing. You know what? World of Spirits. Head on. We get a stagger, we get some crits, and that is a fallen king. That's a hard fight. That is a difficult fight. Like, obviously, you know, fighting your own people is always going to be hard. However, the fight itself had a lot of really... Okay, before I continue that, I'm just gonna say it. I'm sorry that my initial impression of this mod was so terrible. Because so far, these abnormalities have been very, very unique, and if a little awkward, like, for example, the King of Binds dealing sinking instead of tremor, it's a little thing, but it is a little weird. The bandages that make you lose your speed dice, I think is like probably the best way to show off that mechanic without actually just full-blown destroying characters for no reason. Overall, all three abnormalities that we fought have been very unique. I do think Meat Lantern is a little bit annoying, just because you do have to deal with the clerks who are just suiciding into Meat Lantern every single turn, and if you don't kill Meat Lantern, then you're completely SOL. But, you know, overall, they have been very unique. I think King of Binds so far is the best, and then Army in Pink, and then Meat Lantern. Meat Lantern's at the bottom right now, but we'll see. Our order might change as we go. But you know what time it is? Extracted Ego Binds. Oh, you even made a unique ego suit for it. Alright, let's see what we got. Bind. There it is. Okay. When equipped on the floor of technological sciences, changes abnormality pages. Yep, we know that. Chains made to imprison. At the start of the act, gain 50 sinking. Huh? Bandages made to heal. At the end of the scene, recover 20% of HP damage taken during the scene, minimum of 1. Build up resentment. Boost all damage by +1 for every 10 sinking on self. An almighty king. When inflicting sinking, apply additional stacks against target with high max HP. +1 per 300 max HP up to 3. So if they have 900 max HP, we inflict 3 additional sinking. Gotcha. I'm gonna check how long I've been recording because I've been at this for a minute. Okay, so this is definitely gonna take a lot longer than I thought to go through all the abnormalities. So, what I'm gonna do, we're gonna read out the passive, the abnormality page passives. Then, we're gonna save the rest for the next episode. I think we're just gonna chip at it. That's probably the healthiest way to do it. So, here's the other ones that we missed. Bait. Single ally. At the start of the scene, for every Meat Lantern abnormality page this character has, inflict lure to a random enemy. Enemies with lure prioritize this character as a target. On a successful hit, if target has lure, recover 1 to 4 HP. Predation. Upon winning a clash, if the librarian's dice roll is greater than the opponent's by 7 or more, destroy the next dice on the opponent's page and recover 5 HP and stagger resist. And ambush. In a clash against pages originally targeting this character, gain 1 power and recover 2 to 6 upon HP upon winning a clash once per page. So overall, Meat Lantern is kinda like the tank of the floor. And King of Binds. Resonating Voice. The selected librarian gains 3 bandages of the King in Binds. While this character has bandages of the King in Binds, draw 1 page and restore 1 light at the start of the scene. Upon being hit, inflict 1 sinking this scene to the attacker at a 50% chance. And this version of sinking lowers their roll. I forget exactly how, but it lowers their roll value. Restrained Malice. Single ally, chosen librarian gains 5 bind and 1 bandages of the King in Binds at the end of the scene for the rest of the reception. You also take 3 less damage and stagger damage from all sources. And Commanding Presence. Single ally. At the start of the scene, all characters with sinking gain 1 strength and 2 fragile. After using an ego page, inflict all other characters with 5 sinking next scene. Then the bandages. Protecting. All dice gain +1 power for every 25 stacks of sinking present on the stage, up to 2. Upon being hit, spend a stack of bandages of the King in Binds to negate the damage. King's Pressure. All enemies with bandages of the King in Binds prioritize this character with their attacks. At the start of the clash, inflict 1 bandages of the King in Binds to each other. And finally, Seeping Sorrow. After winning a clash, inflict 0 to 2 sinking this scene, and at the start of the scene, all characters gain sinking equal to this character's personal emotion level. So overall, very, very sinking focused. Now, my question is, does it work with other versions of sinking? Because if I just type in sinking, well, I guess I don't have the pages for it, but technically, we have quite a few different types of sinking. For example, this sinking, which deals stagger damage, more akin to the actual Limbus sinking, instead of the King of Binds reduce their power sinking. Would they stack? I don't know. Technically, they're both sinking, but I'm also 90% sure that they're going to be a different buff. So I don't know if it would just see sinking and use both. I don't know. But either way. With that, I believe that's going to do it for this episode of The Library of Ruina. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And once again, I do want to apologize that my initial impressions of this mod were so terrible, because so far, it's actually proving to be a very unique mod, especially because, for one, not many mods actually add abnormality pages. Like, there's quite a few that add, like, personal abnormality pages, but this actually changes the floor, which not too many do that. I can think of 1, and maybe even 2, and then 1 that you have to manually install, but all things considered, that alone makes it very unique. But then the fact that it actually has like a little bit of synergy to go with it, and for the most part, pretty unique mechanics. Like, for example, Meat Lantern effectively has aggro. I think it's pretty cool. So, once again, really wish that my first impression wouldn't have been the train immediately, but hey, what are you gonna do? It happens to the best of us. But we'll certainly see what the other abnormalities have in store. Who knows? Maybe they'll suck. Maybe they'll be amazing. Who's to say? So, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.